Lightly golden on the outside and chewy in the middle, these maple pecan cookies are irresistible. Hello friends, welcome back to The Casual Foodist. I'm Brianna and today we are celebrating some of my favorite fall flavors with these absolutely delectable maple pecan cookies. So for these cookies we're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1/3 cup of pure maple syrup, and make sure you get pure maple syrup and not breakfast pancake syrup. And preferably you want to go for a dark maple syrup or a grade B. This is going to give us a richer flavor for these cookies. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 large egg, 3/4 cup of unsalted butter, and we're going to brown this in a little bit. And then last but not least, 1 cup of chopped pecans. And depending on where you live, you can either pronounce it pecan, regardless, they're delicious. So we're going to start these cookies by making some brown butter. By browning the butter, it's going to caramelize the milk solids, which is really going to play up both the maple and the pecan flavors in these cookies. So we're going to add 3/4 cup of unsalted butter to a small saucepan. Cook this until the butter has melted and the milk solids have started to brown a little bit. After our butter is melted, we're going to cook it until you get a rich amber color and a deep nutty aroma. We are going to let this butter cool down to room temperature before we use our cookies. And if you want to speed up that process, you can pop it in the freezer for about 10 minutes. We're going to start by mixing our dry ingredients. So we're going to take our 2 cups of all-purpose flour, put it right in there, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. And then we're just going to give this a quick whisk until everything's nice and combined. And then we're just going to set this aside and work on our wet ingredients. In this large bowl, I've already got my browned butter that's cooled to room temperature. We're going to go ahead and add our 1 cup of brown sugar, 1/3 cup of maple syrup. Get all that in there. 1 large egg, and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. With our electric hand mixer, we're just going to beat this until everything is nice and combined and creamy. Once this is all combined, we're just going to go ahead and add in our dry ingredients. And then bring back our hand mixer and mix this all together. Last but certainly not least, we are going to add in our chopped pecans. And one last little mix here. All right, before we bake these cookies, we're going to chill this cookie dough for at least 30 minutes. You can also do it up to overnight. And you want to chill the dough. This is going to reduce how much the cookies spread, so we've got a nice thick cookie. And it also allows the flour to absorb a little bit more of the wet ingredients, resulting in a chewier cookie, which I just love. Well, you can certainly chill your cookie dough in the bowl first. I like to scoop out my dough onto my baking sheet before I chill it, just because the cookie dough is a lot easier to work with. And we're going to scoop these cookies out and leave about 2 inches in between each cookie before we put this on the refrigerator. After your dough is chilled, we are going to bake these cookies at 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes or until the edges are golden and the cookie is still slightly chewy in the middle. You can find a link to the full recipe below, and be sure to like and subscribe to The Casual Foodist for more recipes like this.